All right, I'm now recording. I'm just gonna start a timer for 60 minutes. And then I'll get started reading the instructions. Now we're start. Okay, let's get to it. I'm surprised this. Okay, so I need to make sure I name the functions properly based on the exercise. Get the cases right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that my text editor is good to go. I use Atom, so I'll be using Atom for these exercises. Right function identity, which one argument and simply returns that input value. Okay, I'm gonna take some input and just return it. Sounds simple enough, so I'm just gonna go ahead and write it out. Identity, it's gonna take some value, return that value. I'll go ahead and console log the examples. On one of them at least. Seems fine. I'm assuming that function should return undefined if no input provided. Which I believe is what will happen if I do that. And so with that, let's move on to the next one. I'll label these exercise 1. Okay. Exercise 2. Boolean value returns string. Okay. This will just be a simple conditional. So I'm going to take the time input will be either true or false. I'm just going to assume it will always either be true or false. The output will be true false. It's going to be this. Coffee lover is the name of the function. It's going to take a bool. I could write this as a using the ternary operator. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And it probably would look a little bit cleaner and it's simple. In fact, let me just do it. I usually don't use it. But in this case, it'll definitely look cleaner. So So if it's true, oops, I should have written bool there. So if the argument that's passed is true, it's going to say enjoy a cup for free. If not, it's going to do that. That should do it. I can just console log a true. Oops. Console.log coffee lover true. Enjoy a cup for free per the instructions. False. Take a look at our other drinks. Good to go. I'll move on to exercise 3. Okay, in this case, I'll take an object as an argument. And then I'll do the same thing based on the property enjoys coffee, which is going to contain a Boolean value. So my input will be an object that contains the property enjoys coffee, which is Boolean. My output should be the same as exercise 2 based on enjoys coffee property. Okay, coffee lover extended is the name of the function. So I'll declare the function here. Coffee lover extended. It's going to take an object. And in this case, instead of using the ternary operator, I'll just write a more traditional if-else statement. Object, I can use dot notation because I know exactly what the property name is. It's enjoys coffee. That is strictly equal to, I need that. If that is true, then I'm going to return enjoy a cup for free. Otherwise, I'll return the string. That's it. I can test this one by just copying in this object and then doing a console log of coffee or extended customer 01. This one should say enjoy a cup for free. Customer 02 should say take a look at our other drinks. Okay, all good, and I can move on to exercise 4. 100 kilometers. Is that number multiplied? No need for rounding. Okay. So my input will be a number representing miles. I'll assume that there will always be an input. Always be a number input. My output is going to be approximation of kilometers by multiplying the argument by 1.60934. 1.60934. Function, we'll declare the function. The function name is convert to kilometers. Kilometers. It's going to take in a number of miles, and it's going to return miles times 1.60934. Should be all. Can do a quick test using console log because this is pretty straightforward as far as I can tell. 50. 80.467. I can also do 1, 580.97174, 580.973. I'm getting 972.160.934, but I assume that I'm fine because this suggests I don't need to worry about rounding. So I will move on to exercise 5. Comment that out. And exercise 5 is good for a shooter, which takes a shooting percentage between 0 and 1, exclusive of 1, and returns a string. Inclusive lower exclusive. Okay. Input will be a number greater than or equal to 0 and less than 1, representing free throw shooting percentage. My output will be a string. There, it will always one of 3 options based on where in 3. I'll just say based on size of shooting percentage. So I'm going to just write out what my conditionals will be. Each range is inclusive of the lower bound. So if it's greater than or equal to the lower bound, so if it's percentage is greater than or equal to 0 and less than 0.65, That's going to be horrible. Copy and paste it. That's going to be horrible free throw shooter. If the percentage is greater than or equal to 0.65 and less than 0.8, that's going to say decent free throw shooter. And because I can be confident the number is always between 0 and 1, I can basically just use else here. Read free throw shooter. All right, so that's going to be my structure. The function name is good free throw shooter. I'll also copy this. It's going to take a shooting percentage. And I'm just going to write an if, else if, else statement. So shooting percentage is greater than or equal to 0 and shooting percentage is less than 0.65, and I'm going to return horrible free throw shooter. Else if, copy this. Else if it's greater than or equal to 0.65 and it's less than 0.8, and I'm going to return decent free throw shooter. Capital D. Otherwise, I will return great free throw shooter. I'm a semicolon up there. All right, this should be fine. I'll do a couple console logs just to make sure I'm not missing something. It is good free throw shooter. I'll use the test here, 0.9. Great free throw shooter, 0.09. Horrible free throw shooter, 0.75. Decent free throw shooter. I also suppose I should test the edge cases. So I'll test a 0.65, which should give me, if I understood the question correctly, 0.65 should give me horrible free throw shooter. No, I'm sorry, it shouldn't. It should give me traces bottom inclusive. That's correct. I just said it wrong. In the same way that 0 would give me horrible free throw shooter. And 0.99999 will give me great free throw shooter. Okay, say we're good there. I will move on to exercise 6. Write a function dog value pet. Takes a string as an argument, turns a sentence. Okay, that's simple enough. this is odd, and I'm actually gonna, well, for the sake of time, I guess I won't fix this. So I'll treat it as if all of these things start with a vowel. Again, just for the sake of time. Okay. My input will be a string. Maybe I do not like dogs. An item, or I do not like dogs. Do not like dogs. Output will be a string. That string is going to say this. This is going to be the argument, or if I do not like dogs is passed in return, I would not pet dogs. Okay, I think this is just a simple concatenate. I know that with one conditional, so I'll have a conditional statement. I'll have on one side of the conditional, a string that creates this sentence. On the other side, I'll just have a string that says I would not pet dogs. So that'll be my approach. The name of this function is dogs I would pet. I'm using cases right there. Dogs I would pet. It takes in an item. Let's see if item is strictly equal to I do not like dogs. Then I'm going to return I would not pet dogs. Otherwise, oops, I'm going to return I would pet dogs no greater than can, and then add the item that was passed to the function. I'll just go ahead and call one of these. And I'll console log it for the sake of time. I would pet dogs no bigger than and small horse. Should be good to go. I'll move on to exercise 7. It's tall enough which takes the height, number in inches and returns. Okay. Input is going to be a number representing inches. Output is just going to be Boolean true if the argument is greater than or equal to 48, otherwise false. This is tall enough is the name of the function. Is it inches? In inches, yes. If inches is greater than or equal to 48, I'm going to return true, else. I'll just try one of these numbers. 72 should return true. And 28 should return false. Oops. I'll comment that out. Vector size 8. Dessert, which takes no arguments but returns an object with 3 key value pairs. Values cannot be undefined, so I need to create an object in this function. Okay. Input is nothing. Output 3 properties. An object. 3 properties. My favorite. Dessert. Value pairs. Must be populated. Okay. And I don't think I need much of a plan here. I can just type it out quickly. Favorite dessert. Make sure I spell it right. Dessert. Miss anything. It's going to return. Yeah, I'll just have return an object. I want it to be warm. Sweet and salty. And cost free always tastes better. There's my object. So now if I console.log dessert. Oops. I should get that object back. On to exercise 9. Takes in an array of mixed elements. Returns the number of strings in that array. So returns an int. Input is an array mixed elements of different types. should just be an int that represents the number of string data type elements in the argument array. Now my approach to this could be to iterate, could be to traverse the array and have a counter. I don't even need to do that though, because I believe I can just do a dot reduce dot, no, I'm sorry, dot filter dot length type of an approach on this. So I think I can just do this in one line. The name of the function is count num of strings. Count num of strings. It's going to take strings. It's going to take a mixed array. And it's going to return how do I write filter? Straight up filter. And then a callback. Function. So it's not going to be on one line after all. Is equal to string. Oops. Type of x is equal to string. There's my function. Dot length. I'm trying to do this filter function without looking at MDN. I think I did it right. I better test this thing out. As long as one of these works, then I can be confident that I did it right. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this in. Console.log it. And this should be 1, 2. Basically, this should return 2. And it does. I could have used a different syntax to keep that all on one line. I'm kind of used to just using the more traditional callback function syntax. In any case, it works. I'll move on to exercise 10. Takes an array of words, returns an array of numbers, representing the length of each word. Okay. My input is an array of words. Output should be a new array of ints. Each element representing the length of the corresponding the array that's passed. in as an argument. I can just use map and return the strings length via maps. So let's go ahead and do that. The name of this is length of all words. List of all words. It's going to take an array of strings. And I'm going to return strings.map, which takes a callback function. Length. That should be it. Let's just go ahead and try this one. Five, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, 5, 1, 3, 4. All right, I'll continue on with the additional exercises. Looks like I have 23 minutes left. Additional exercise 1. So I've tried. Take an array of people objects, turns an array of names of people. Array of people objects. Okay. So my input is an array of objects, each object representing person and containing a property named what? Named height in inches. Height. Output should be an array of strings. Which contains a property named another named. Right. Containing value at name. Okay. For only those with height in inches of greater than or equal to 48. Greater than or equal to 48. Okay, I'm taking an array. I want to return an array. Should be able to use map to do that. So I will use map, and my callback function is going to say if the object dot height in inches is greater than or equal to 48, then return. I'm going to return the person's name. Otherwise, I'm not doing anything with the current element. Go ahead and write it out. Tall enough to ride. It's going to take an array of objects representing people. So I'll call this people. I'm going to return people map. My callback function is going to say I can use dot notation here because I know the names of the keys. So if dot x dot height in inches is greater than or equal to 48, we'll return x dot name. And that's it. Just test it with the data that's given in the exercise. And back. Uh-oh. So maybe map doesn't work for me. Okay, let me take a different approach then. Instead, I will just initialize an array and use for in check to access each property. And then I'll use push for the appropriate names. So I'll do it that way instead. Make a note to myself how to use map. How to get map to return different number of units versus the okay. Let's try this again then. I need to initialize an output array. I will ultimately return that output. For person in people, I'm going to say if person dot in inches is greater than or equal to 48, then output dot push person name. Now it should work. Error person, correct to initialize. I'll just do that. And that didn't work either. Why didn't that work? Height in inches. It's greater than or equal to 48. All right, I need to debug this. Okay, tall enough to ride, function tall enough to ride. Height in inches. Height. I'm confused about what I've done wrong here. Can you help me with what I've done wrong, Mr. Interviewer? Of Okay, well that worked. For some reason, I thought that for_in was the one to use on an object. That's going to drive me crazy, so I'm going to look that up in MDN. Script. Iterable object. Okay, versus for_in. Is over iterable. Okay, I had it backwards. I needed to use for_of. In any case, that did the trick. have the same data structure as tallest driver function, tallest person, people objects, person with the greatest height. So for additional size 2, input is the same. It's an array of objects containing people containing each object has a name and height in inches property. But it should be a string. Identifying the tallest person. It says name at height in inches. Okay. So how am I going to approach? I think I can reduce the array to just one object. You're going to reduce the array to one person. And then I can return string that references the array. I assume that it's fine that I modify array past as an argument. So the function name is tall enough. No, tallest person. Function name is tallest person. It takes array of people. Call this tallest. All right, this function callback is going to include an aggregator argument. If the element dot height in inches is greater than then an aggregator needs to be equal to the element dot height in inches. think I need to return this. Let's just see if that works. And then here, start height in inches. 0. Okay, so that would be tallest. And now I'm going to return a string that says tallest.name plus at plus tallest is the name of an array. Height in inches plus inches. Now let's give that a go. Log tallest person out of group A. All right, I've done something wrong here. Probably because I needed to return this. No, I need to return this. All right. And reduce isn't working. Reduce was the wrong choice here. Made the wrong choice here. I'm out of time. What I should have done is I should have set a max variable. I could have just done a for of loop, stored the max or the name of the person, or both, the max height and the name of the person associated that max height. And then at the end of that loop, I could have just done my return. I got off track by trying to do a reduce, use a reduce function. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and submit all this stuff. Thanks for listening.